before even the first ad started, we did around $40,000, which we were not doing at all last year. Just by using or implementing the sales technique, the sales script you have, it's amazing.
What have you done so far total in February,
Total,
March?
if I am not wrong, we have done $115,000, and total bookings, just 1 second, is 12 bookings. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, $115,000 in
Yeah.
less than 3 months.
Yeah.
How's that make you feel?
Oh, feels really good. Like it actually boosts your, confidence. And I'm waiting for the new leads to come so I can, get more. I'm like, for me, I think the best motivation for me is money.
Yeah.
Like when I see things happening the way I want, it motivates me to do more, take it to the next level.
So I always like to start off with a small fun question, which is give us a 60-second intro into who Saurabh is and tell us all about you, man.
Sort of, that's 60 seconds is a bit too small. Okay.
Take
So yeah,
take as many seconds as you want then.
okay. So I am Saurabh. I started RS Wedding Studios in 2010. Before that, I was an editorial photographer based in Dubai. That's where I did my engineering and my second year of engineering, I needed Dubai is expensive when it comes to booze. So I did a second job just to, make some extra money. And that was a photography job. I was a light assistant at a studio. And by the end of the year, I started shooting. And when I finished my engineering, I was already an established editorial photographer. So never had a need to work as an engineer. Then I went back to India, got married, and my wife wanted to do her PhD from New Zealand. So we moved to New Zealand, and in New Zealand, it wasn't a big market for editorial. So we started looking into other venues. So wedding was one thing which was very common in New Zealand, and being a beautiful country, we started doing weddings. And by the end of 2017, when we moved to Canada, we already had shot like around 400, 450 weddings. In 2017, we moved to Canada, and being Indian, everyone thought I was the Indian wedding photographer. So kind of got sucked into Indian weddings. And yeah, now majority of our weddings are either East Indian or Pakistanis. So we shoot roughly around 70 to 75 weddings a year, which is multi-day weddings, so 3 to 4 days per wedding. So
Gotcha.
that's me.
Yeah, that's nice, man. Like that you lived in so many different countries. Like I don't know if you know this backstory, lived in Canada for a little while.
Which part?
Ottawa.
Ottawa. Boring one, yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's why I left. That's why I didn't stay.
Yeah, Ottawa is like it's slow, but I would say it's better than Toronto. Like when we first moved to Calgary, to Canada, my brother used to live in Toronto. So, he said, come and stay with me. So that's why we kind of planned to stay with him. But did not mention that he doesn't live in Toronto. He lives in Brampton.
Hmm.
So we could only manage 20 days. And then we moved to Calgary. And ever since then, we are here in Calgary.
Gotcha. And so when you guys moved to Calgary, did you start up RS Studios right away, or when was
Uh,
this?
Reminiscence Wedding Studio was already started when we were in New Zealand.
Okay.
It was Reminiscence's Wedding Studios. That's the original incorporation as well. So when we moved to Canada, we already started doing like advertisement on Facebook and Instagram that we are moving to Canada. And lucky enough, we were at the airport when I got my first booking in Canada. And they told me like we landed in August, and they said the wedding is on 6th or 7th of September. And I assumed it's going to be 6th or 7th September, but next year, because that's what I was used to.
Yeah.
And I told her, yeah, so how about I settle myself down and probably call you early next month? And she said, but wedding is early next month. Really? And then, the worst thing was I already sold all my equipment before I moved over here so
Yeah.
that we could use the amount of equipment we carry. And then had to like buy all the new equipment and got ready for the wedding. And that was an Indian wedding. And from there, it picked up. And yeah, I would say we are kind of a go-to photographer or videographer when it comes to weddings in Edmonton or Calgary.
Gotcha. So how long were you doing that before our paths kind of crossed?
I think the first interaction I had with your advertisement was last year. And last year primarily was a very slow year for us. Like a year before that, we were doing almost, I would say, 2 to 3 bookings every month.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, technically, like January was a super slow month, and then February picked up a bit, but then March, April was again slow. The summer was technically getting the payments for the weddings we were shooting already booked, but not many new bookings. Like until the end of last year, my calendar wasn't full. And I think it was in August or July when I saw your ads for the first time. And I did contact, and I think it was one of your team members who contacted me.
Yep.
What was her name? Anna?
Christina.
Christina, yes.
Yep.
She contacted me and we had a Zoom meeting with her. But that time, I don't know, it didn't like, felt like, I was thinking things will improve automatically, right? But it did not. And then again, I think end of last year, we saw your ads again. And I've been seeing your ads like throughout anyways. But Rashmi, my wife, she's my business partner as well. So she contacted Christina again, and we booked an appointment. I think the the once we started doing the whole conversation, it was kind of a high time for us to do something about what's happening. And we spoke, and then we, just put in the money and started.
Yeah.
Then I think the real change happened was before your ads even started, to be fair. I think for me, I wouldn't credit the ad system that much, but it's the way you kind of, change the mindset. So I went through your training module and all the trainings, and the first few modules talk about how to set up things, but then comes the sales part. I think that's where I needed that, refresh. And there's one particular thing in your training model that says, have a mindset of that you're coming from abundance. Don't be desperate. I think that particular part was the best. And literally after reading your manual, within a week's time, I think we had our first inquiry. It was an organic inquiry, but we used the same technique.
Mm-hmm.
And things changed drastically.
Yeah.
Before even the first ad started, we did around $40,000, which we were not doing at all last year. Just by using or implementing that sales technique, the sales script you have, it's amazing.
Thank you, man. That's incredible. $40,000. And I think that was your first month inside the program. I remember you posted,
Yes,
you were like
because I think my ad started kind of
second
early
month
February.
or
Yeah,
something, right?
it was in February when the ad started, but we enrolled mid-January, and by the end of January, we started implemented that sales tactic, and it worked amazing. We did had a few people who did not book, but that's fine. That's how the business is.
Yeah.
But it was a good start because, like last year, I don't think there was a month where we did 40,000 in 1 month,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then by the end of January, we were already like up by 40% or 40,000. And then February again was great, and then March has been super good.
Yeah. What have you done so far total in February,
Total,
March?
if I am not wrong, we have done $115,000, and total bookings. Just 1 second, is 12 bookings.
Nice. So what's roughly the average price you're charging for these weddings?
Like it depends. If it's like a single day wedding, it would be anywhere between $5,000 to $6,000. But if it's like multi-day Indian or Pakistani weddings, it averages around $12,000 to $13,000.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we've had weddings. In one of the weddings we booked, in fact, 3 of the weddings are around 15,000 price mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, $115,000 in
Yeah.
less than 3 months.
Yeah.
How's that make you feel?
Oh, feels really good. Like it actually boosts your, confidence. Now I'm waiting for the new leads to come so I can, get more. I'm like, for me, I think the best motivation for me is money.
Yeah.
Like when I see things happening the way I want, it motivates me to do more, take it to the next level. And that's what I'm aiming for as well.
Yeah, because it gets addictive. You just want to keep playing
It
this
is, it is.
business game.
Right. And another thing was like I wasn't structured, to be fair, when before I started with you guys. When I say structured, everything was in different platforms. You know, Instagram messages will be dealt with differently, ads will happen differently. My emails were coming from somewhere, and it was hard to keep a track of who have I replied and stuff. But then Rapid 360 platform is amazing. Like just the platform itself makes a lot of difference because then everything is in front of me now. Every morning I come to my work, the first thing I do is not to check my email, but I go into the Rapid 360s, all the new leads which I have received. I'll like put tags on them, so when I send them emails, it goes according to different categories, and
Yeah.
then I will see if there is a new like somebody with the dates which I'm available. I'll probably send them a message and try and contact with them. So it's very organized now. I know what I've done as of now, like at a single glance, I can see it in my screen. So instead of opening multiple emails and then using a calculator to add them up, so it's very structured, very organized, and it actually makes my life a lot easier.
Yeah. Do you think like having that kind of clarity and focus really helped you like get that
Oh, yeah,
revenue up?
definitely, definitely. Like to be fair, last year, there was a lot of hesitation, a lot of desperation as well. I'm not doing sales, I need to book. Otherwise, how will my next year will go, and how will I pay my bills, rents and all the
Yeah.
stuff? How will I pay my team members? So those things kind of take you away. And there were quite a few times when I forgot to follow up with my clients,
Yeah.
right? If I followed up and they were like, we are on the verge, before even asking why they're on the verge, I will probably reduce the price automatically,
Hmm.
assuming that is the price, which is the
And
deciding factor.
you end up
But
devaluing your
typically,
own work.
exactly, exactly. And like right now, there are still people who are always on the edge whether they should book or not. But when you ask them why are they on the edge, it's not the money part, right? Money is there; they will somehow find it somewhere. Even if in case if it's a good deal, they'll probably, like as you say, if it's a good deal, they'll find money from somewhere or borrow it
Yeah.
from somewhere. So yeah, so there were quite a few things which I missed last year, like following up on time, and the bigger reason was like I don't have a sheet which I maintained where I know, okay, I have to call this person, but with the system it's already there. I know, okay, this is my task to do. I'll just go through a task and then start calling people, following up, and things were looking very good.
Hmm. So yeah, just to rewind a little bit, I want to get into your backstory. Like
Mhm.
obviously you're an established business owner, you're there in Calgary for a few years. Last year, things started slowing down for you.
A
That's
lot, yeah.
do you know exactly like why it kind of slowed down for you?
Like a year before that was probably busy because we were coming out of COVID.
Hmm.
So everyone was desperate to get married and get over with this thing. But then it came to reality. The last year was the reality check. It started going back to what it should be. But we did not anticipate it that. Like I thought, it's going to be even busier than a year before. So with that wrong expectation, I think what happened to me was I was desperate. Like I'm not getting sales. Like there was a time when every single person I'll talk to in person or over the phone, they will book me.
Yeah.
And like even like if I talk to my wife, Rashmi, she did mention, back in those days, she used to say, you got attitude, you're arrogant. The way you talk to some of the clients, uh, it sounds rude. And I used to tell them like, it's not rude. I'm just controlling what I'm supposed to control, right? But then last year, I thought maybe, what, that attitude was wrong. I have to do something. I have to get more sales. That desperation came, and people can see that desperation. They'll feed on it.
Yeah.
But after changing and working with you guys, like I felt, that desperation was definitely a big role in not making money, but my attitude wasn't wrong. When you have a certain attitude, when you're talking to your client with a confidence, there's a difference between confidence and arrogance. I'm not arrogant, but I was confident before. Now I'm back to my getting my confidence. But again, for clients, they want somebody who's confident, who know what they're doing.
Mhm.
So I showed that confidence again, and you take the desperation out of your equation, everything was falling in place.
Yeah. To me, it sounds like the biggest change for you was just getting your hands on our proven sales framework and script and knowing like, okay, I just have to follow this with confidence. And
Yes. And again, like it's not like you're in your structure, the Rapid 360 structure. So there are different categories, right? So there is a lead category, which
Mhm.
anybody who is going through our ads and they like it, they'll put a name. So that's a lead, right? Earlier, we never had those leads. So those are people which I can influence, not right now, but maybe later. But
Yeah,
I know I have those details, right? And we did campaigns. You guys did some SMS tweaks in my platform as well, where I see you send an SMS saying hi, thanks for contacting us and getting engaged. And a lot of them have contacted back, and we literally are like on the verge of closing 2 other leads.
nice.
At least we have those leads, which I never had before.
Yeah.
And then there are certain people who like, instead of being a lead, they'll just go into the scheduled call, which is great. I know I have to talk to them, but those leads which were missing out was big, because now we have, like, if I check at my system right now, ever since we've joined, we've had 379 leads, which is a big number. That means there are 379 potential people who has a very good chance of booking me.
Yes.
Right? Now, looking at this, I don't have to think, you know what, I don't have clients. I have clients. Now I have to think, what should I do to make sure that they are heard or I respond to them? Earlier, it was the other way around. I didn't had anybody to pitch my package.
Yeah.
So definitely the whole system itself is amazing. And I love that. I'm happy that I actually signed you guys up. And in fact, we were talking yesterday for continuing this thing for the next few years as well.
Imagine you hesitated like the first time when you reached out to our team member and you didn't sign up. Have you ever thought like where you'd be if you'd never ended up working with us?
I'll be like on the verge of closing my business pretty much,
Oh man.
because there is like bills. There are a lot of bills I have to pay. I have a store, a studio, so to
Yeah.
pay for that, team members, the equipment, and everything adds up.
Yeah. There's a huge overhead.
Yep.
Yeah. What was your initial hesitation, if you don't mind me asking? Why did you decide like let me go a couple of
There
months?
were
Like you
two. There
came
were
back
two
like 7
points.
months later.
Yeah, there were 2 points. One was I thought it will automatically improve.
Hmm.
Laziness, I would say it was because of laziness.
Yeah.
I was thinking, you know what? I was doing good before. I will do it again, right? But I forgot one thing, that sometimes you need a matchstick to light up a fire, and you guys were that matchstick. And the second reason for the hesitation was money. I thought maybe 4,000, 5,000, $6,000 for the whole plan is not what I'm looking for. Like when I first contacted you, I thought you will be doing my ads in that budget.
Hmm.
That was my understanding. But then when things became like literally worse, I was like, we have to do something. We've tried, and in fact, before doing it with you guys, we did like work with different marketing companies, but the results were not there.
Oh, really? I didn't know this.
So we did with a local guy who does Facebook ads and stuff. We paid him a lot, nothing worked. And I was like, you know what? Instead of paying him with no results, it's a gamble, right? What's the outcome? Either it will go up or we are already down. There
Hmm.
can't be anything worse than that, anyways. So we thought, you know what? Put the money in. Let's see what happens.
Okay. So you worked with
Literally,
one other guy before or a few others?
uh, there was one person locally who did it, and there was another company. I think it was called Marketing 360. They did it, but there was a lot of miscommunication from them. So we had to kind of cancel the contract with them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Got it.
And budget-wise, like for the ads, it's the same amount we are doing with you, what we were doing. In fact, we were doing more with them, but there was no result.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad it worked out with us and you've came back
Definitely,
to us again.
definitely. Yep.
Cool. So, when you were making the decision to work with us, how did you know like we were the right choice after
I
being
did.
burned by two other people?
I didn't. Literally, we didn't. It was a gamble. Literally, a toss of a coin, because we had only two options. One is things will go up or things will remain where they were. Like literally, I don't think it can go any worse than what we were doing before. So the hope was things will get better. And we put the money in, literally. Eyes were like, fingers were crossed, put it in, let's see.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what happened.
What was your mindset coming into the program though? Because I know you were like very, very committed because you never like expressed that attitude to me where it's like, hey, this program is just a coin toss. Let's just cross our fingers and see. I
Yeah.
always took you as a very committed person. I never got that energy like, oh, this guy tried these stuff before, it didn't work
No,
out.
so the thing with the commitment is, uh, when we booked, literally when we booked, it was more of my wife influencing me than anything else. She was like, let's do it. And I was like, yeah, what can be worse? Like, let's do it. We did it. And you sent that email with all the, the setup instructions and stuff. I did not even open that email. I did not. I was busy with my editing. I was like, I have to edit this and I have to deliver it so maybe we can get some more clients. But then Rashmi started watching that because she was the one who was setting up the whole system for me. So she started and she sent me, literally, she recorded what you were saying on a phone and sent it to me. And I was like, is this guy like trying to run ads, or is it a chapter from that movie, that book, The Secret? I was like, I'm intrigued. Let's watch it. And I was editing a wedding video. I stopped that. I went through, literally binge watch all your videos, and I was so happy. I was like, you know what? It's so good. I think all I needed was a change of attitude. The whole thing changed, and literally overnight, I was so like pumped up that, you know what? Let's do it. I think this is gonna work. And when you think things gonna work, it will work. So we did, went through all your videos, made a chart of things which should be the way they should be. And lucky enough, we got an inquiry. So it was like, you know what? He's my guinea pig. Let's talk to him the way Mahmood mentioned. He did not buy though, but the next call we got, they signed up. And
Nice.
that was like a sign, you know what? This will improve a lot for us.
That you're on the right track.
Yep, we are on the right track.
So, I mean, big shout out to your wife for taking the
Oh
initiative
yeah,
and going through the
definitely.
videos.
Definitely, definitely. She was the one who started watching the videos first because she said, I'll do the setting up, the whole platform. And then once she's done, in fact, she got hooked with those videos anyways. Like she stopped the setup and wanted to watch your videos first, especially
Yeah.
the sale part. And it was great. It was a very well presented, manual. And I think anybody who will join, if you are showing this to anybody, I would say, please stop thinking about anything else. Put your money, and definitely you'll get your return on your investment.
What would you say to the person that was, let's say, in a situation like you, where they tried working with other people, didn't work out, but they're on their last few dollars?
I would say, don't give up, right? I know if you like, you have got negative impact from different investments you've made in past. But again, if you have your hopes that things will get better, things definitely will, right? And if in case anybody who's watching this is trying to sign you guys up and they're still on the edge, I would say just take a jump. It can't go anything worse than what you are at right now. If in case they are trying to contact you, the major reason is things are not working for them,
Yeah.
right? If things are not working for them, you're already at a low point. You can't go any lower than that. So close your eyes, put your money in, and then enjoy.
Love it. And what about like your biggest piece of advice for our students and clients that are coming to the program and they're watching you as a success story? What would you tell them?
What I would tell them is like after like I think we have this weekly meetings, and I'm sorry I missed it yesterday because I had a call that time.
Yeah, no worries.
Uh, Most of the time, what I've noticed in those meetings are people, they lack confidence or they lack that motivation. Find that motivation. Like, I wouldn't name people, but I've heard people it's not working for us. We're not getting leads and stuff. Leads are there. You have to work for it. You have to make sure that you make your ads in a way that it's very appealing to people and have a high hope, especially talking to people when you're talking on a consultation. Show that you know what you're doing. Nobody's
Right.
gonna hire you if in case you're having a doubt on you.
Yeah.
So
Because
I think that's one thing. Like you have to be confident. And again, there's a saying: fake it until you make it. You'll fake it on the first two calls, but then once you get your first booking, you're not the same.
yeah. Yeah, because you cannot carry that negative, low energy to your couples and then expect them to pay you thousands of dollars. Nobody's gonna
Yeah,
do that.
and it's like I don't know whether you believe in manifestation and all the stuff. I do believe in it a lot, and it's a regular practice for me to meditate and manifest. And there is this law of attraction,
Yeah.
right? It's at a quantum level. It's at the frequency level.
Yeah.
If you are low, if you are creating low energy or low vibration, you will attract more low vibration, right? You have to imagine that you're doing really good. And I think last year I totally overlooked because I was too desperate.
Hmm.
My brain was not working the way it should be. But now I'm getting back to where it should be. And manifestation, you have to imagine that you are actually living the life you want.
Hmm.
If you're doing that, it will happen. In your, the training modules, you've mentioned before you go into a consultation, take a few minutes, calm yourself
Meditate.
down,
Yeah.
meditate. That's what I do. Instead of meditating, I'll sit and I'll imagine the outcome of that call. Like I'm at a stage, I'll close my eyes and imagine, taking customers' card details, putting a deposit, and it happens.
How often does that actually happen for you? Majority of the time?
Majority of the time, yeah. I would say 80% of the calls I go on
Yeah.
consultation they book.
Yeah. I don't think I ever shared this with you, but like sort of like I wasn't like a fan of manifestation. I heard all these manifestation stories and rhetoric, and even the book
Yeah.
that you mentioned, The Secret. And I'd always be like, what is this? This woo-woo things. And I just like put it aside because I was always a very mathematical, scientific, analytical, logical person until one day somebody showed me that it's actually related to quantum physics.
Yes.
That's when I became a believer. And I was like,
No,
okay,
that's exactly the same thing for me. I think the book came like 8 or 9 years ago, and I remember that time I was in New Zealand when I first saw the video. Right,
mhm,
I was like, it's crap.
yeah,
It's one way of selling a book, right? I
yeah,
never gave it any importance to it. But then I was going through some documentaries, and I'm one of those people who don't sleep much, and I need to watch documentaries. I'm more logical when it comes to these things. So instead of watching a movie, I'll rather watch a documentary. And I saw this podcast, and they were talking about quantum level frequencies,
yep.
and it was like, dude, these guys are talking about the same lady. In fact, they mentioned her name a couple of times. I was like, oh, that was true. Let's give it a try. Because what they're talking is more scientific, and scientific things hit me better. So when they were talking about frequencies at quantum level, all our atoms are vibrating in a certain frequency, and your attitude actually increase or decreases the frequency. So I was like, yeah, let's give it a try. And it did not work, to be fair. It did not work at the same time. But then slowly, I don't know whether it's psychology or it's a fluke, but things started according to how I manifested.
Hmm.
So, it kind of motivates you to do more. And ever since that, I've been doing it.
Yeah.
Like it's very common. Like I'll be thinking about this person who I spoke with a
And they
couple of days
contact
ago.
you.
And I'll be like, I think I should not call to this person. I'm gonna just call with a lot of confidence, and I'm gonna tell him, you know what? You have one day to decide. Literally, your time is finishing tonight. Where's the payment? I'm thinking about it, and this person calls and hey, here's the payment.
I love it.
Literally. And another thing which I've noticed, I don't know it has any logic to it or not. If in case you are feeling low, it's for people who are planning to or who have already joined and you're not doing that well, take a break. Take a break, go travel somewhere. Doesn't really have to be too far. Maybe just go to the next town, stay there overnight, relax, don't use your phones, come back and you'll have a lot of good news. It works for me all the time. Like I was out with my family last week, and I was
Yeah.
literally thinking, oh, last week wasn't that good when it for the leads and stuff. I was like, you know what? Forget it. Let's go for a trip. We literally from Calgary. I think I'm out of focus. Let me focus it again. Yeah,
There you go.
focus. So I was like, I'm just gonna go to Edmonton, and Edmonton is technically the next town from Calgary. So we went there. We stayed overnight, and in the morning, I'm sitting and having a breakfast in the hotel. 2 calls. Like, hey, we're ready to book.
Hmm.
And it had happened a few times. So yeah.
I've
In
experienced
fact,
the exact same thing.
yeah, Rashmi signed you guys after coming back from a trip. That was our San Francisco trip.
Trip worth it.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with your mental levels. Like if you're taking a break, you're
Yeah.
kind of resetting your whole mental state, which works.
Oh yeah. Like I've noticed, like I'll go out for a drive, I come back, my team has gotten sales. I'll go
Yeah,
work out at the gym, just listen to music, come back,
yeah,
sales. And I'm like, well, that's even better. I have to work less then. Just
yeah, exactly. Like you have to travel more.
yeah, travel more, drive more, go to the workout. Yeah.
And again, I think it's something to do with the frequencies which are around you. When you go out of those frequencies, you kind of reset and attract different frequencies. When you come back, you're bringing those new frequencies with you.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happened. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but it
Yeah.
works.
I mean, I don't want to get too deep into this video about manifestation, whoever's watching. The thing is, whether you
Yep,
believe in
definitely.
manifestation or prayer, God, at the end of the day, having a positive attitude will never hurt you. It will
Yep.
only help you.
Yeah.
So whether you
And
bring that
again,
positive attitude to your
positive
consultations or
the
not, like it will
positive
help.
attitude is a good thing, but again, you need something to back that attitude as well. And I think for me, it was you guys. Like first month, I got that attitude, right?
Yeah.
What next? Either I can just sit and wait for people to approach to me, or I'll just get you guys to do my ads and bring those people to me. Right? Waiting is you might get somebody, you might not. But then it's you guys. It's like I know that you guys will bring those leads to me. Right? So my brain is at peace that yes, I will be getting somebody contacting me, and you guys did that for me. So it was quite nice.
Were you visualizing that you're getting a lot of leads and couples coming through your ads?
Oh, I do that every morning, every night. That's my routine. And it
Yeah.
works. Like right now, I can see 3 people in my scheduled call list. I think I've already spoken with one yesterday, one today, and they'll be moved for the follow-up.
Yeah.
And this will be filled by the end of the week, anyways.
So what do you usually visualize? Like, what's your routine? Like going before bed, you're thinking about this?
I'm a very quick sleeper. I literally can sleep anywhere if I want to sleep, right? So when I'm on my bed, I only will have probably 1 or 2 minutes. That's all I will have before I'm asleep. So first thing is close the eyes and imagine what I want. And you have to think in present tense. So instead of just thinking that, oh, tomorrow I will get 3 inquiries, I'll be thinking, okay, it's already tomorrow. I've got 3 inquiries. What am I doing and what should I be doing to get those inquiries? So the part where getting the inquiries is I've imagined it's already there. I already have the inquiries. What to do with those inquiries is what I'm thinking about. So you have to think in present, and it works. Every morning I wake up as like thank God for the day we had yesterday. And now I already have these things to do. Let's work on it. Even if you don't have those inquiries, by the time you'll reach offer, you will have it by. So you just have to be positive about things.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's next for you? Where's this journey leading you now?
Nothing. I'm kind of addicted to you guys. So yeah.
What about goals wise? Where else do you want to
Goals
go?
wise, we are pretty doing pretty good with our calendars for Calgary and Edmonton. And now the plan is by the end of this year, we want to have separate teams in US. So there will be one in Sacramento, one will be in Texas. So we are working towards that now to hire good people and start booking. Probably by this summer, we will start the campaigns for advertisement in US and Canada, US and different states in US, and start booking. So we have a lot of bookings from US by the end of or mid next year.
Love it. Love it, man. I wish you all the best. I definitely know you're gonna achieve all of those things.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to be on that journey with you and see you grow.
Oh, definitely. You'll be with me all the time, buddy.
Thank you. I love it. Well, we'll wrap it up. Again, thanks for taking the time, man.